Hello again, and welcome to End Times for Beginners. This time the subject is not a topic from one of my usual charts. This time the topic is a book. I want to speak to you for a few minutes about a new publication which was requested during lockdown and which has recently been published. It is in many senses the fruit of the last 2 years of activity where restrictions have been in place. And yet there is a sense in which it also is the product of a lifetime and at least 20 years worth not only of study but of discussion and presentation of these topics in other parts of the world since I left secular employment to go into itinerant mission work. For many years we travelled in the subcontinent of Africa, and there we found a great interest in end times topics. And so at the request of Christians out there, we put together some charts different from this one, and little study booklets that we were able to distribute in many parts of Africa, many thousands of them, give them out as part of our ministry and discussion, both formal and informal. Then I came back to the UK after a period. I found that questions about end times were maybe not so often asked as they had been in the days of my youth. And then, of course, in 2020, there came SARS-CoV-19. There came the COVID virus. There came the restrictions. There came the vaccines. And there came some very strange questions in the minds of people. And some of those questions began to be verbalized. Out of that, there came a request for a series about end times on video pitched at younger people. That series ran for 6 months and had a wonderful response. And out of that, there came a request for a book. And so the first part of lockdown in 2020 was spent putting together a video series. And the second part of lockdown in 2021 was spent in putting together a book. The same title, End Times for Beginners, requested by John Ritchie Publishing from Scotland. I have had an association with them for many years. It was a pleasure to sit down with others, graphic designers, and a little team of us to sit down together and to produce what is a wonderful book in sections, with questions and answers. At the end of every chapter, you will find questions that you can answer for yourself. If you're not satisfied with your knowledge, you can go back over the chapter. It is a primer. It is a study manual, not a commentary. It is sectioned and tabulated so that it's easy to work through. You can answer the questions for yourself. You can decide, do you agree with the author's position or do you not? And then when you're satisfied, you can move forward and study the whole book from beginning to end. It is not just a commentary on the book of Revelation. In fact, it's probably not a commentary at all in that respect. It is a textbook. It begins where prophecy starts, in Genesis chapter number 3. And it continues with the communication and revelation of God to man, what the purposes of God are, right throughout time. Right for our age, for the conclusion of our age, and the ages that are still to come, until time itself, as far as earth is concerned, will come to a conclusion, and after that, God still has a future. All of these things are contained within this book. It is available from John Ritchie Publishing, from their website. It is available from the websites and the shops of Christian book distributors across the world, and that also is available from, because it has gone into additional reprint. It has become available even from secular bookstores and secular websites, even from Amazon. And so we do recommend it to you, with other recommendations as well, that you might get a copy in your own hands and peruse it for yourself and study it slowly and study it carefully, that it might be a benefit to you to understand what God has to say to us about the end times.